Hey drawing students, I wanted to talk to you guys today also about mass gesture. So the original gesture drawing that I gave a demo on is called line gesture. Mass gesture is a different style that uses the side of your charcoal. So you got to use charcoal for this one or pastel if you're in drawing too. But you need to use something big, chunky, blocky as your media so you can be able to use that broad stroke. So Minnie's posing for me again. She's got a slightly different pose. And I'm going to start out by actually finding the shapes that I see, the major shapes that I see in her posture. And I'm just using the side of my charcoal and going really light. So in your sketchbook, this is a great thing to practice, like seeing if you can get like a lighter um, kind of touch with your material. Because whenever you first start out, sometimes it just feels like you always want to go, hey, you got to keep your arms in the same spot, please. Okay, thank you. So whenever you're putting your charcoal down to the page, you want to keep it light, and then as you get those major shapes, as you get those major shapes down on the page, then you can start to actually add a little bit more pressure. And one of the most awesome things about charcoal is that it really responds to touch very well. It's very easy to get a dramatic change in tone just by changing the amount of pressure you're putting on the material. And as you go in to start to define your mass gesture drawing, it's kind of cool. You're actually even starting to do a little bit of very basic shading where maybe you start to emphasize and add a little bit more tone.
You can't draw in space because there's no gravity.
I don't know if you guys heard that or not, but you can't draw in space because there's no gravity. So you're actually getting a little bit of tone coming in, like where you maybe see some shadows in the pose, or maybe where you just want to like define and add emphasis, maybe like define an edge a little bit. One of the things I would suggest that you try to do with gesture is to try to avoid a heavy, chunky, thick outline that's continuous along the entire edge of the form, just because that can make your drawing look sort of flat, and then you end up not having the volume that you're trying to create. Gotta get some tiny toes in there. There we go. That you're trying to create as you're
Mama, how about you
defining your pose.
draw space station?
How about I draw Space Station, Minnie? Okay, I'll do that next.
See what happens.
All right, so you can see like Minnie's arms are above her head here, so they're kind of cropped off, and then her pose is a little bit twisted, and you can see like where the lights and darks start to come in. You start to get a sense of volume in the body and some volume in the pose too. So I would try doing both of these styles of gestures. If you can get a living model, awesome. If you can't, you can always use yourself in the mirror. Or you could even do some inanimate objects too, like stuffed animals, figurines. Those can be a good place to start if you don't have somebody that you can talk into posing for you. All right, thank you guys.